Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who all learned this truth from and who do well. Peace and salutations to the 144,000, the rest of the elect. Unto you I say shalom. Coming to you back with another Let's Do the Spirit, and I'm entitled this one, MOTB is knocking at the door. And the MOTB, which going into the mark of the beast, written about in Revelation chapter 13, where is one of those last prophecies that is yet to come. We have Jacob's trouble, all hell breaking loose, World War III. But before that really happens, this prophecy has to be implemented. It has to be pushed out throughout the world and made mandatory, where to the point where all these nations are going to go to war with the whore, which is America, Babylon the Great. And that's why Edom is scrambling to get his NWO up and running ASAP, because the infrastructure is already set up. The only thing left for the so-called white man Edom is for him to cause that black swan event that's going to lead to the economy collapsing, to the system collapsing, because really that's what he wants to do. That's why he's doing what he's doing, with all these mass layoffs and all these jobs being replaced by AI and automation. People getting laid off left and right. And it's going to get so bad that people aren't going to be able to afford rent, groceries, daily necessities. And Edom already said it himself. You know, he's going to offer that UBI, that universal basic income. And majority of these people, especially here in America, they're going to take it because they're used to handouts, especially, these people that are used to receiving all these government handouts from EBT, food stamps, Section 8 homes, welfare, and these women getting child support and alimony. So if you was to offer these people universal basic income, but you got to take this MOTB, you got to take this micro CHIP, majority of the people are going to do it. And if you was to offer them back a couple weeks ago for them to receive their food stamps back, but you got to take this micro CHIP, majority of the people would do it. So how much more when all hell has broken loose, when people aren't able to eat, they're not able to go to their job, they're not able to buy and sell. That's what the great squeeze is coming down to. But majority of these people don't see it, because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai didn't give them the spirit to see it. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And who are the ones who are going to understand these prophecies, especially this major prophecy about the MOTB, which is the micro CHIP, are going to be the elect. Because really, you even have people in the world, so-called Christians, these red-blooded Edomites, Bible-thumping Edomites, they even understand what the MOTB is. But yet, here you have these other Israelite camps that are telling their congregation that the MOTB isn't a micro CHIP, that is the image of white Jesus, Caesar Borgia, that is sin, that is white women, that is an embargo. But how are you going to buy and sell with sin? It don't make no sense. That's why Edom is making everything digital, because now the infrastructure set up, and now he has the technology, he has the means to make this happen. Because a couple decades ago, he didn't really have the technology that he has now. That's why at this time point period, he's gonna do it, because really Edom, he's about to be done. He has a short time, and that's why he's gonna come down with that great wrath and come down with that sword. And if you don't bow the knee to this beast system, then he's going to put you to death. He's going to put you under that guillotine. Verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So the MOTB prophecy, it's not tarrying no more. It's here. You know, that is to the point where this prophecy is mainstream. It's talked about in the news. It's talked about on all these different podcasters' channels. Glenn Beck and all these insiders, you know, they have sold out, but are pushing that narrative onto their followers so they can have some type of hope that, okay, you know, we're going to resist the MOTB. We're not going to bow the knee. But what they don't understand is that once that MOTB gets made mandatory, then that's it. That's when those missiles are going to be shot over here to the souls of America. Where if you're not part of the elect of the nation of Israel, which comprises of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and also the Israelite foreigners that may look like these other heathen nations, but the lineage goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Only the elect, the 1/3, are going to be delivered from this upcoming destruction because they ain't bow the knee to the system. So it don't matter if these Edomites, these heathens don't take the MOTB. Ultimately, they're still going to get put to death. Only the elect are going to be delivered from the upcoming destruction, but majority of the people, they don't see that because they haven't been given the law, statutes, and commandments. This is 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. And it reads, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And Yahweh Bashmiel Shai is visiting the earth. He's making it evident that this system, this kingdom being ran by the so-called white man Esau, Edom, is just about up. And that's why he's scrambling to get it up ASAP, because you don't have a long time. And Yahweh Bashmiel Shai is going to allow him to set it up. But when he's about to fill his belly, when he's about to eat his steak, has his wine poured, and okay, damn, I won. I got the world micro C-hip. Everybody's under a digital slavery. I won. But that's when Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, like it says in Job chapter 20, when he's about to fill his belly, that's when he's going to rain that great wrath on him. And he's going to bring him down from that haughty and proud position that he's been in for so long. Along with the rest of these people that took the MOTB and bowed down to the system, they're going to get destroyed as well, because they're going to have that mindset too, that okay, I took this micro C-hip, I took the MOTB, now everything's back to so-called normal. Everybody's eating rat burgers and cricket burgers, cockroach burgers. But that's when Yahweh Bashmiel Shai is going to come like a thief in the night. That's when Yahweh is going to send Yahweh Shai to destroy the wicked, but to also deliver the elect. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that word mark, that's very important, because you have all these camps saying that the MOTB isn't a micro C-hip, that is sin, that is spiritual. But ultimately, when you go into that word mark, in the Greek, and you can get it real quick. That word mark, going into Strong's G 5480, Karakma, and it says a stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand of the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. It says the mark branded upon horses, a thing carved, sculpture, graven work of adulterous images. It says a badge of servitude. ultimately that's going into what these people are gonna take. You know, that palisade, that charagma. You get the word, the root word, Strong's G5482. It says charax. It says a pale or stake, a palisade. And what's gonna be that palisade? You know, ultimately that needle that's gonna be required for people to put in them to receive that charagma, and that's what majority of the people on the planet Earth are gonna take. Especially the 2/3 of the wicked of our people here in America, because they're so used to Esau, Edom, feeding them, and you know, trusting in oppression. It's gonna be nothing for them to take that MOTB, especially when their ribs are touching their stomach. That's what it's gonna take for these people to bow down. When you take their food away, when you take their bread and circus, when you take their daily routines that they're so used to. And ultimately, when it says, or I'm gonna get the next verse 17. And then no man might buy or sell save he that hath the mark. And that's what it's gonna come down to. That's why this system, digital systems being implemented. People have gotten used to technology through gradualism. You know, if you was to tell people 20, 30 years ago that you were gonna be able to buy and pay with your phone, and you're gonna have a computer on your phone, and you're gonna be able to take pictures and watch TV, surf the internet, and do all different kinds of things on this cellular device, people will look at you crazy. You know, shit, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, if you was to tell people that you'll be able to keep all your money in a card, in a debit card, credit card, people would be like, what the hell? And now that, you know, we're telling our people and the rest of these heathens, you know, this is what it's going to come down to. A couple decades ago, you know, they were looking at our apostles, elders, bishops on down crazy. But now that is evident what the MOTB is, now the prophets are not looking so crazy. But ultimately, it don't matter if these heathens don't take it. Only the elect are going to be kept from taking that charagma. Read verse 17 again. And that no man might buy or sell save he that hath the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And ultimately, majority of the planet Earth is going to take that MOTB, because Yahweh Bashmiel Shai is ultimately going to have to put the spirit upon his elect during the hour of temptation to resist the mark. Because that's why it's called the hour of temptation. It's going to come upon the whole world. And ultimately, those who take it here in America, they're going to suffer with that grievous sword. They're going to get put to death and suffer that second death. It says, Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, which really majority of the people upon the planet Earth are already doing this. They're already worshiping the beast. They're already bound down to this system, to this beast system, the American dream, you know, chasing the bag, you know, worshiping, you know, all these different gods and idols. So these people already pretty much been given up to Satan. They've been given up to the spiritual demon Satan. So how much more when it's made is made manifested physically? It says, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. Verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, which is poured out without mixture in the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which that Lamb is Yahweh Shai. And that's what Yahweh Shai is coming to do. He's coming back with the holy angels, with the chariots of salvation, the chariots of Israel, not just to deliver the elect, but also to put to death all these rebellious ass people in the world, the rebellious Israelites, these heathens, and ultimately to put the spirit on these devils, these Edomites, to shoot those missiles over here in America. And that's what's going to happen to America. It's going to be thermonuclear destruction, And along with all the people over here that aren't part of the elect, and the rest of these heathens are going to have to suffer that second death. They're going to be thrown in that lake of fire. You know, and that's ultimately the times we're in. You know, but I pray this is edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory that's due to Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who all learn this truth and who do it well. Peace and salutations to the 144.